Yo, what's up guys? We got pokeaim here. Today we're into the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Moveset video guide on how to use Gengar, another highly requested Pokemon and probably one of the best Pokemon in the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl metagame. Now, if you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure you let me know by leaving a like. Leaving a like on the video, obviously, it helps me out. It's like, okay, cool, people like to see this. And also leave a comment on the next Pokemon you'd like to see me cover. We have a lot of Pokemon to still go through and, check out the rest of the Pokemon on the channel because I've covered a lot so far as well. And lastly, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'm going to 300k. That is my end of the year goal. I upload 2 to 3 Pokemon videos a day. You have a Gengar Moveset video guide today. You have some Manaphy Showdown Live Suspect, I think, or Glaceon. It's one of those two that I'm doing. And you have a Wi-Fi battle where I use Gardevoir and Nidoking later as well. So there's a lot of content on the channel every single day. So subscribe. Again, that is my end of the year goal. So Gengar, again, is one of the best Pokemon in the metagame. Why? High speed tier, high special attack, and Ghost is so much better than what it was in Gen 4. And it's not like Ghost was bad back then, right? Gengar was a fantastic Pokemon back then. And it also had access to Hidden Power Fire back then too, which was still really cool. And it had a buffed Explosion, which was nice for getting rid of Blissey. But Ghost types are no longer resisted by Steel. So Steel types just get smashed by Ghost type attacks. It's really cool. And it makes Gengar that much better. Now, Gengar did lose Levitate, so it can't really switch in that well on Gliscor and Garchomp like it used to before. But even then, it would still have been hard just because if it still had Levitate, Gliscor could just knock it off, and obviously Garchomp can Dragon Claw and Outrage. So Curse Body is here, and at least it absorbs Toxic Spike, which I think is pretty cool for Gengar. And you can get some like late game scenarios where your opponent has to hit you, and then you can get that disable on them and potentially sweep because of that. Happened a lot of times, happened in tournament games for me as well. So the best set. And, oh, I have the wrong item right there. Well, it says Choice Scarf. It's supposed to be Choice Specs, but it has a Scarf. So that is absolutely my bad, but that is supposed to be a Choice Specs. We do have Scarf as well being covered, but that's supposed to be a Choice Specs, not a Scarf as the item. My bad. But Specs Gengar is one of the best sets just because, like I said, Ghost is really hard to switch into. And all the resistances to Ghost get nuked by Focus Blast or Sludge Bomb, depending, right? So if you look at the OU tier, what are the dark types in the tier that resist Shadow Ball? You have Crawdaunt, you have Weavile, you have Tyranitar, right? Those are the dark types in the tier that can resist the Shadow Balls coming out. Besides that, Shadow Ball is hitting the entire tier for really strong damage besides Blissey, if you're a normal type, obviously. And even Crawdaunt cannot switch into Spec Shadow Balls with Rocks up since it will be 2-hit KO'd. So that is the most spammable move. This is nice because even Special Defensive Scizor, if Rocks are up, you'll 2-hit KO them and you'll live a Bullet Punch as well. I think all Gengar should be timid. You want to have that base 110 speed, faster than Infernape, speed time with opposing Gengar as well as Latios, a really relevant threat, but also just always being faster than base 100s in the tier, such as Manaphy, and even higher up than that, you have Garchomp. So just being faster than that is really, really important. So Shadow Ball is that main move. You have Sludge Bomb as well. Sludge Bomb's cool because it's a move that won't miss, that can easily knock out things like Breloom, Clefable for super effective damage and knock them out. Crawdaunt with Stealth Rock up can die as well. It's just stronger than Shadow Ball too. And obviously like Togekiss is another thing, and Tangrowth that come to mind. You're also able to hit Staraptor, which is amazing. With Stealth Rock up, that thing can die too. So I already mentioned what Focus Blast is for. And then you have Hex. Now Hex is what makes Gengar incredibly scary because what is a Pokemon that is always status no matter what in OU? Gliscor. So Hex is always 130 base power versus a poison Gliscor, because they'll always be poisoned because of Toxic Orb. And unless they're max special defense, max HP, you are OHKOing Gliscor, like always, unless they are literally max. And even then, if Rocks are up and they're max, they'll die. So just to show you that Gengar can be an incredible Pokemon in the metagame right now, and it's an insane Pokemon to switch into. Like honestly, the fact that Pursuit's not in the metagame as well makes Gengar just be able to come in and come out. Now there are faster Pokemon that can deal with it, obviously, but they don't like switching in. Like Alakazam can't switch in on most of its moves. Weavile can't switch in on most of its moves either, right? So it's just a strong threat in the metagame, and Specs is one of the best ways to use it. Good partners for Specs, good partners for Gengar in general, Scizor, Gliscor, and Rotom. Why? Because U-turn and Volt Switch. Gengar is not a Pokemon that you typically want to switch in on a Pokemon, right? Maybe Clefable's Moonblast, but even then you risk Thunder Wave from Clefable. So by having pivots like Gliscor, Scizor, and Rotom that can take hits and then Volt Switch and U-turn out into Gengar, they do exceptionally well. Scizor obviously is a great partner too because it helps it deal with Weavile, Alakazam, and Latios speed ties, because Scizor can deal with all those Pokemon. Rotom is a great one because it will switch in on Earthquakes aimed at Gengar, like from Gliscor. For example, if you're locked in a Sludge Bomb or you don't feel confident going for Hex. So, I think if you have Gengar out versus Gliscor, most of the time you can just click Hex because you do a lot. And then Gliscor is a great one as well because, again, switches on Earthquakes, can take on Scarf and Fernape and things like that, and just be able to take most of the hits aimed at Gengar. So next up we have the actual Choice Scarf set. Sorry about that. I should have fixed that item, but I'm a little bit tired when I was doing this, so my bad. Choice Scarf Gengar is pretty cool because it can be a revenge killer to Dragonette's Tyranitar, Dragonette's Gyarados, Dragonette's Feraligatr. Just basically also not having a speed tie versus Latios unless they're Scarf themselves. Faster than Azo, faster than Alakazam, faster than Weavile. So it's a pretty cool thing. Faster than Scarf Raptor, right? And Scarf Togekiss. It's faster than most of the Scarfers in the tier. And only speed ties with the opposing Scarf for Latios. Because other Pokemon in the tier don't usually run Scarf. Like Latios is like the fastest Scarfer you'll see in the tier besides Gengar. Right? It's faster than Garchomp too. So Weavile doesn't typically run Scarf. Alakazam doesn't typically run Scarf. They're just better movesets and items on them they can do. So this is basically the same thing. Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, and Sludge Bomb. You're going to be hitting the same thing as usual. Shadow Ball, just great, Ghost Resist, a weaken Latios. If Latios is taking a little bit of damage, Shadow Ball will knock it out. Sludge Bomb, of course, for the Fairies, Focus Blast for Weavile, Tyranitar, etc. And then Destiny Bond is an option because, for example, your opponent has a Scarf Garchomp or a Gliscor at +6, and they are going to try and Earthquake you or anything like that. You can't knock them out with any of your moves, not from full. So you go for Destiny Bond. That way, when you die, they die as well. And most of the time, they will attack a Gengar because Gengar is such a huge threat in the metagame. Then you also have Thunderbolt as an option. Thunderbolt is just reliable check to like Gyarados, Manaphy, Feraligatr, still hitting Empoleon as well. Just being able to hit those water types. Pelipper, though Pelipper shouldn't be used as much right now. Cardinal for a KO as well. But Pelipper shouldn't be used as much right now just because the Drizzle ability is banned, but also Skarmory. So it just gives you a nice coverage right there. Other options for coverage can be like Energy Ball if you really want to. You can also do Dazzling Gleam. Not a huge fan of Dazzling Gleam. I like the combination of Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, and Sludge Bomb way better. I would rather risk a Focus Blast and go for Dazzling Gleam and not KO the Dark type, right? For the most part, like Tyranitar and Weavile. So, yeah, I like Focus Blast better in that regard. Now, Gengar also has access to Nasty Plot now, so this set is Nasty Plot, either Life Orb or Focus Sash. Focus Sash is really good, but you have to have good defog partners. So I recommend Pokemon like... sorry, just to go back on Choice Scarf, one of the other things is that it can come in on Rabbitson from Starmie and outspeed it and knock it out reliably with Shadow Balls. You do have to be careful though, because Analytic Boost to Hydro Pump will knock you out, obviously Psychics as well. But if you know they're going to go for Rabbitson, you go Gengar and Shadow Ball. So you can run Life Orb or Focus Sash. If you are running Focus Sash, make sure you have defog partners. Scizor and Gliscor are the big ones that come to mind. Starmie is another offensive partner that can work with it too. My buddy Blim has used Focus Sash Nasty Plot so many times to success. But Life Orb if you want that extra power. So the set is Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, or Hex. Again, it's up to you. If you want to run a Hex, if you are like stronger versus... I'll Focus Sash, I like Hex a little bit more just because you'll actually be able to deal with Gliscor, which is cool. But of course, if your team has like Thunder Wave and Will-O-Wisp, like you have Thunder Wave, Rotom, Thunder Wave, Clefable, Will-O-Wisp, Rotom type of thing. A lot of pair on your team, maybe Body Slam, Jirachi, Thunder Wave, Jirachi, things like that. If your team has a lot of status, Hex is good. Otherwise, Shadow Ball is fine. Sludge Bomb for sure because Clefable is just hella annoying. And also just having that accurate move at +2 to be able to knock out Crawdon, I think is really big. Azumarill as well. And then your last move is either Focus Blast or Taunt. I think that if you run Taunt, you can run a little Focus Sash and Life Orb. Taunt's cool for like Thunder Wave Blissey because unless Blissey's running Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, the set's going to be like Seismitoss, Soft Boiled, Thunder Wave, and then Stealth Rock or whatever coverage move. If it doesn't have a coverage move, if you taunt it, it cannot Thunder Wave you, and then you can proceed to set up to +6 on that with Nasty Plot, right? But otherwise, if you are using a Focus Sash, Focus Blast can be really good too, just in general, just because you'll be able to eat a hit from Weavile and knock them back out with Focus Blast. So that's using Nasty Plot Gengar. Really nice. Appreciates hazards and obviously appreciates defoggers as well. And then we also have Sub Nasty Plot Gengar. This is to avoid Thunder Waves from Clefable, Thunder Waves from Blissey if they can only touch it with Thunder Wave, and then you have the Black Sludge for the recovery, so you can get back. It's the leftovers from poison types, and then your moveset is either Shadow Ball or Hex. Again, Sub Nasty Plot kind of like Hex on it because then Gliscor, if you sub as they go for Thunder Wave, like Clefable goes to Thunder Wave if they're like trying to be crazy, and then they go Gliscor after as you Nasty Plot, then Hex at +2, you're going to be able to knock them out, right? Whereas Shadow Ball, they'll be able to live. So Hex is cool with that. Obviously, Shadow Ball is just more reliable. Then you have, as your last move, kind of a toss-up, Focus Blast. Behind a sub, you can reliably hit Weavile, Crawdon, Tyranitar, reliably with quotations, right? Because obviously you can miss 70% it hits. Will-O-Wisp is pretty cool too because this is one of the few Pokemon that can get away with just running mono Ghost coverage. Obviously you have to make sure your team can deal with Blissey, but Shadow Ball, Hex, Ghost is just so good, right? And there's very few normal types in the tier anyway. There's Staraptor and there's Blissey, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's it when it comes to normal types in the OU tier. So Will-O-Wisp sub, Really nice, again, avoiding status. But Focus Blast there, Will-O-Wisp. You have Sludge Bomb as well if you want to be able to hit the fairy types like Unaware Clef, so it actually can't beat you 1v1, right? But if you do Will-O-Wisp, Unaware Clef, and Stealth Rock are up and you're burning it, Hex will beat it 1v1 as well. And then Disable is an option too, because maybe they can only touch you with one move, like example, Blissey with Shadow Ball. You substitute, you disable them. If you have Toxic Spike, you can potentially beat them as well. It just allows you to stall out Blissey and force it to actually go for other attacks. But yeah, that's basically it when it comes to Gengar. Fantastic Pokemon in the OU tier. Really, 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 really scary. Like, it's seriously a scary Pokemon. Especially because Shadow Ball has that chance to Spadef drop, and that allows, basically Shadow Ball can set up for its own sweeps, right? If Scizor comes in and you do Shadow Ball, you do 40%, and you get a special defense drop, the next one's going to knock it out, right? So like, Shadow Ball is just really, really scary, but obviously Hex is really scary too. But yeah, definitely try out Gengar if you haven't. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Also, if you guys want to pick up Pokemon Legend Arceus, pre-order it, and you live in the US, feel free to use my Best Buy links. Those links are down below, and you can also get anything from Best Buy and actually support the channel. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. Peace.